Hello. Hello and welcome to Farming Simulator 19. I'm Andy and this is Let's Play on the Björktorps Gård. And we planted all the fields and now we are weeding. So that's what we're gonna do. Set this up. Set our GPS up here, or the wheel, like so. And hopefully this will work nicely. Oh no. It did sort of work, I guess. So, how are everyone doing out there? Hope you're having a good day, a good weekend. I'm having quite a good day and week. I've been having a pretty nice couple of weeks, I think. Been busy, a lot of stuff to do at work. Yesterday after work I spent about 3 hours just writing stuff. If you're a social worker or caseworker, you know that sometimes you have to spend some time at home doing stuff, basically. So that's what I did. Spent about 3 hours after work, and I don't usually do that. I try not to do that. I try not to bring my work home. I try not to do stuff. But the thing was that. And I was talking to a friend of mine who also does this, and she went like, "Oh, yeah, don't do that. You have to stop working when you get home." But yeah, I understand that. But the problem is, my next week is hell. I have so much stuff to do, and I don't even have time to do all the stuff. I know that in advance, and to have about 3 hours work hanging over your head that you need to put in somewhere, and you don't have the time to do it. That's just very stressful. So I do what we tend to do. I do it at home because that's pretty much the only way I can handle it. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't that way. I wish I could just not do it, and that's probably the way you should do it. Not bring your work home, but the thing is. That will create so much more stress in my world. So sometimes, I mean, this happens just a few times a year, but sometimes I'd rather just bring it home, do the work at home, and have it done, and then I can focus on the stuff I need to do at work. In this case, next week. So I don't know. You know, shouldn't do it. I know I shouldn't do it. I know that. But if you work in private companies, you would do this all the time, and no one would think about it even for a second. So I know I shouldn't do it, but I did it. 3 hours, and I'm back on top of the game. And the thing is that some of the stuff I did was sort of stuff that other people depend on. So we have these time limits, which is by law. We need to do certain things at certain times or within certain time periods. So if I so I had like 2 meetings which I had to I had to write down the results of the meetings, or write everything down, and it's not for my sake because I'm not the one that has those cases, but I helped out a colleague of mine, and in order to for her to be able to do her job within the time limit she has allocated for her job, I needed to write those 2 things down, and I needed to do that next week, and I knew I had no ability to do that next week, because I don't have the time next week. So I did sort of spend maybe like an hour or so writing that stuff down. No, maybe 45 minutes or so yesterday, and now I know that my colleague just has to do her bit, and she can finish it within time if she does her things in time. So I gave her the ability at least to finish in time. If I hadn't done my part in time, then she would have been screwed basically. So some of it is because I need to help. I need to do things in time for it to work with other people's cases or time limits. And some of it is just because I don't want to be stressed about having another thing that's hanging over my head next week, which I won't have time to do. So yesterday I worked a 4-hour day, because it was a short thing. During that 4-hour day, we as a unit got 7 reports of children being mistreated or abused or that sort of stuff, or in danger of being abused or mistreated. And that's quite a lot. 7 reports, and they had to be dealt with, and we actually just had time to do the first part of it, and there's lots of more things to do. And that's also something that my colleague needs to do, because that's her job, the one I helped out, but she doesn't have a clue because she had a day off yesterday, so she's gonna come back to work Tuesday, and have a lot of stuff just hanging over her head. I haven't told her because I didn't want to stress out. She has some time off, and she should enjoy the time off, not being all stressed out about the stuff she needs to do when she gets back. So that's a kind of that's the way my work works. My job works. And it's about individual children, which makes it hard not to do stuff, but at the same time it's basically like a processing plant. We process children or children's situations, so children being in danger stuff. And they said the demands on us by law is so freaking high. We don't really have any room for missing stuff, and it just bugs me. Law basically says, oh, we have to do everything. Yeah, but the real life doesn't make it possible. And law isn't. Well, actually, the law doesn't say that. The law is quite good designed and will not make it possible to catch all the children that needs help or protection. But and there's a different. Swedish law is kind of good that way, I think, or Nordic law when it comes to children, social services and children, because in other countries they're just basically set up for protection. In Sweden we are we have a protective what's the word I'm looking for? In our mission, or what we are supposed to do, we do have some protection set up in it for children that needs protection, but a lot of it is actually based on preemptive, like doing stuff in advance and having where is it here? Over here, sorry. Doing things in advance, and actually not trying to protect them, trying to make sure that the stuff or situations doesn't arise where they need protection. So it's pretty wise, actually. I think it's Swedish law that way is or social service law is quite good and makes the job a little bit easier and nicer, because it's not just about running around grabbing kids that needs to be protected, you can also do a lot of good work with the families and parents. And actually we have to do a lot of that before we do the protective work or get to that point, and it's quite hard to take a child from its parents. And some people argue it's too hard. I don't do that. I think it's actually pretty well sorted out. In my book, it's pretty good. There's a little bit of lag now, but I think that's because I'm getting close to the other tractor, which is on CoursePlay. Here's one thing where I wish I could just flip the GPS 90 degrees around, so I could just go and do this field without having to bother too much. Okay, so I think a lot of the lagging comes from doing things at the same time, so doing both this and the other field there seems to be a problem when it comes to lag. Now, oh, sorry, that was bad driving. So I'll do it the same here. I'll do sort of a headland. I actually need to fast forward a bit, that field doesn't have, it's not full of, oh dear, bad driving. I'm just gonna fast forward so we get the entire field filled up with weed, basically, so I can do this. See, I'll just slow it down a little bit more, see if we got the whole field filled with weed or not. Oh, it's lagging now. Stop lagging. I wasn't lagging before. So I added the money I had, by the way, in case you're wondering why I have so much money. I did add the money I did add the money oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I did add the money I lost when I sort of fooled around with trying to figure out why stuff was lagging, which is interesting because it's still lagging, so it's probably not the only, it's not the only culprit. It wasn't just the 1050 tractor. So I added the money, but I also sold off quite a lot of milk. I had like 72,000 liters of milk. No, actually more, I have 20 more, almost 100,000 liters of milk. So they'll sell off that. Just to, well, I did sell off that, so that was good. It's good to make some money off those cows, so I did that, made a lot of money. By the way, I saw some sort of someone was talking about the upcoming features of Seasons mod, Don't know when season's mod is coming out. It will be interesting. But apparently they changed it so you have to feed the cows every day, which I could understand, but that makes it more realistic, definitely. But because I think it's like every 3 days in FS17, and so that would be a bit more realistic. But at the same time, I don't know. Well, I guess you wouldn't have to feed them as much every day. In that sense, it would be easier than it is today. And they sent my steering wheel apparently from Holland, from the Netherlands. We'll see how long it takes for it to arrive. And with UPS, it would probably screw up things. I don't trust UPS. Sorry. My fiance have had too much problems with them, and they seem totally unaware or unwilling to fix things when everything goes wrong. It's like my friend has my fiance has a friend who has a store, and she orders quite a lot of stuff from the States, and the thing is that UPS, I think it's UPS. Yeah, I think it's definitely UPS. Actually, all the freight companies seems to be having some issues with it. So she orders stuff, and then she writes clearly that they can't deliver it on Mondays because Mondays the store is closed. So don't deliver Mondays. Seems fair, like. And they keep delivering stuff on Mondays. It's like it says everywhere on everything. She writes things. Don't deliver it Mondays. I'm not there. Like, and they keep they keep trying to deliver it Mondays. And when they're not there, it's like you have to go pick it up at this location because you weren't there. But are you stupid? Well, I'm not there on Mondays. But it doesn't seem like they care. I don't know. Maybe they just don't care. I don't know if it's they don't care, but they definitely not. They keep delivering it on Mondays anyway to my fiance's friend, so that's stupid. So anyway, so I'm not too fond of freight companies at all. I mean, I understand why they exist, and the postal service in Sweden is really, they're basically just a joke at this point in time. Unfortunately for them, which is sad. They used to be really good. I thought they were good. When I grew up, they were good. And now they're just... And the thing is, they got bumped together with the Danish... This sort of Danish postal office and Swedish postal office, they were combined. And the Danish postal office didn't work very well. So, they had a lot of deficits, so they didn't... Well, basically, we have to pay a lot of money to keep the Danish postal service going, and that means the Swedish postal service had to save a lot of money, and so they got quite bad from that. So we got crappy service, and they got good service, and we pay for it, which is stupid. I'm sorry if there's any Danish listeners. It's not your fault. It's just the way things are, and I seriously don't understand how we could do such a thing. Sometimes that's a problem with politics. Sometimes politics go for a good business deal, and this was definitely a politics thing, and we got screwed over. So shame on us. Okay, let's see. No, the lagging stopped again. Don't know why. Weird. So no lag. Don't really know what that mirror there in the back is for. These mirrors are nice. That's the mirror I can understand. This mirror I don't really understand. What am I looking at? That mirror? That mirror? I don't know what I'm looking at actually. Maybe that could be a future thing to implement. You could change the mirrors somehow. So, hi guys, this is me weeding back and forth on the number 8 field, 9 field, sorry, 9, 8 is over there, the other one is doing 8, I'm doing 9. I like the tractors, I think these are good ones. I would like the 1050, but as you know, I had some issues there with lag suddenly. It was stupid, but it was that. I don't have the best computer, so I can't really. That's the way it is. That's just the way it is. I mean, so now I have two 939 series tractors instead, which are really cool tractors. So I mean, don't mind these. These are good, powerful. They do the job. I don't think I have anything that needs more power than these have. These have almost 400 horsepower. So that's quite good. I wonder if I could set it up so it would work like the front joystick actually works. Wait, I'm gonna try. Let's see. I'm gonna do. I'm doing this on. I'm gonna change the screen here. So here I joy to key, and I'm gonna do a new one, and we're gonna call it Joy FS19 joystick. Then joystick. Okay, so here we have it. I think. So thing is, I could set this up so I could have like 2 buttons that would increase the speed, and this is 1 button that would decrease the speed, and I would go left, that would be number 3, which would set up the. I could also do this as number 3. So basically this will just gonna go over here. So now I have it set up to the joystick, so I could decrease, see decreasing the speed I'm running this at. But the thing is, my dead zone on the joystick is messed up, so it keeps on. It keeps reducing. So sorry, that didn't work. I need to go and change. As you can see it here, it keeps being selected. Down number 1 here, it keeps being selected because there's some issues with the joystick, unfortunately. So we won't do that. We'll just clear that, and we'll clear. Otherwise, that would have been good. So we'll use this as increase speed 2, and we'll use this as decrease speed, and we'll still have left as engage the cruise control. So basically, by shifting it to left or right, we increase or decrease the speed. So that's kind of cool. Actually, I'm gonna switch back because I have all the other stuff set up here. See, I think this is Alt X, Alt E is that one, and Alt X, Alt E, we need to set those up to So let's see, this is Alt E, right? And we have had this one was Alt X, Alt X. I think that was Alt E. No, so the other way. So X and E, and then this is V, and this is X, and this is where's it? Bottom one is B. So basically now I could run this. Let's see here. We'll set it up. We could press the button to engage that. We'll lower that one, and we'll lower that one, and we'll press left. So I have some glitches in my joystick, which is a problem because that makes it hard to get this to work. So otherwise, that could be a cool thing, cool feature. Now I'm gonna switch back to my other setup. So it would be cool if I hadn't had a glitch in the null zones weren't so sensitive or stuff on this. It would have been it would have worked quite good. So I guess we'll sort of say that we set up our joystick in Elephant in another way. I think you can adapt these and change things around and set them up how you want them. So that's a pretty good thing. Cool. Okay, good. Last row here, and then we're on to the next fields, and then I'm going to stop recording, so you don't have to watch all of this. It's a lovely Swedish summer evening. It looks like this is like sweet, even though it's a little bit too early for the sun to start setting. In the summer sets. That's really late. I mean, where I live in the summer, sometimes it's like we have like 2 hours of darkness in the middle of the night. Otherwise, everything is bright. It's one of the good things about living in the north part of the globe. You get really long summers, like really long summers. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna stop recording there. Thank you for watching. I'm Andy. This has been a Let's Play on the Björktorps Gård. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this episode, please hit the like button, leave a comment to share. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.